place finish here last year. 178 laps are complete in Texas. We'll be right back.
CBS Sports coverage of the Texas 500 is sponsored by Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us. And by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever.
183 laps complete in the Texas 500. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, and the Bud 1 airship, proud to provide spectacular aerial shots of Texas Motor Speedway. As Ward Burton out of South Boston, Virginia, continues to hold this field. Here's Dick Berggren.
Well, racing, as in most things in life, has a lot to do with people. And in September 1998, Tommy Baldwin came on as crew chief for Ward Burton, your current leader. Since then, it's been straight uphill for the team. In the last 7 races of last year, he picked up 7 spots in points, pulled off a second in Charlotte. This year, he's got a second at Las Vegas. He's got 3 top 10s in a row coming into this event. And this is a team that is absolutely clicking. Tommy Baldwin has been a key ingredient in the car that's leading right now, driven by Ward Burton.
And Dick, he doesn't have a lot of experience as a Winston Cup crew chief. He worked for Junie Dunleavy's number 90 team, and prior to that worked for his father's and other NASCAR modified teams. But Bill Davis told me in the garage area in Daytona he has never seen anybody with the work ethic, the 24-hour-a-day, let's get it done, let's make it better work ethic that Tommy Baldwin has, and he and Ward Burton have just clicked.
Yes, they have. They have the communication line that you really look for. You want to be able to understand each other. He needs to understand what Ward wants in the car, and Ward needs to trust him of what he puts in the car, and they have all of that.
Yeah, and the other thing, these guys that come from the West Coast to the East Coast, they're the best of the builders in that area out there. They run the short tracks, they learn the chassis very well, and they make great crew chiefs when they come to the East Coast.
Let's ride a bit with Dale Jarrett on our Ford Quality Care Ford Credit Race cam. He's not led a lap since
Daytona.
Yes, lap 56 at Daytona was the last time.
Whoa! I tell you what, he crowded that corner coming out turn 2 just then. He got right up against the wall, had to ease out the throttle just a little bit. He's right on the white line here. As he starts down the front straightaway, he's running this part of the racetrack very, very well. Turn 2 just a second ago, he got a little high.
He and Mark Martin have moved in a little bit on Ward Burton. Not much, but just a little bit on the lead that Ward has. All those cars running about the same speed, and so is the 4th place car of Jeff Burton. He's staying about 3 seconds behind them.
Well, is it possible that Ward Burton has decided it's time to conserve his car a bit?
I don't think so, Mike. I think he's running that car about as hard as it'll go right now.
188 laps complete. Ward Burton from South Boston, Virginia. 37 years old, driving for Bill and Gail Davis. He leads here at Texas. Welcome back to the Texas 500. Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Ned Jarrett. Ken Squire, Bill Stevens, Dick Berggren, and Ralph Shaheen. Your CBS coverage today. And Ward Burton out in front of Mark Martin and Dale Jarrett, but the Labonte brothers, Bobby in number 18 and Terry in number 5, have been lapping this speedway a full mile an hour faster than the leaders.
You're exactly right. Ned Jarrett had his watch out just a second ago, and he says you better keep an eye on these 2 guys right here because they're outrunning the leader at big time right now, and you can see why. Look where the guys are running in the corner.
Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, this is Tommy Baldwin, the crew chief for Ward Burton. Tommy, you guys are running awfully good. How aggressive are you going to be here in this next half?
Well, I didn't really hear what you said.
How aggressive are you going to run him right now?
Well, we got about 20 laps left on this run, and car feels real good right now. And we got out in that clean air. Lost the push in the car. Car's handling real good right now, so I'm going to probably stop him a little bit earlier than anybody else, get some fresh tires on so we keep that gap.
You and Ward have worked real hard on your communication. What's been the key to that getting better?
Just we trust each other, you know, and it's worked out real good so far with this Caterpillar Pontiac Grand Prix team.
His dad was one of the toughest modified racers ever. Still is.
You're exactly right. And I'll tell you something else that's pretty impressive. Pontiac's right. Well, just as I say that, Bobby Labonte looks like something happened. He's dropped down just a little bit, let his brother back, picked up the throttle again.
I think that's what he did, is drop down and let his brother go by. Terry actually was running a little bit faster than Bobby, and he came up on Bobby, and Bobby, with that injured shoulder, didn't want to fight it too much, so he just moved over and let him go.
Now, when Tommy Baldwin said they might shortstop Ward Burton, they might bring him in a few laps before he needs fuel so he can get fresh tires on before any of the other leaders and maintain that advantage over the rest of the field. Ken Squires?
And he's building on that advantage. He now leads Mark Martin by a full second. Ward Burton's been waiting a very long time, since 1995, when he won at Rockingham, to taste the champagne in Victory Lane, and he's looking better all the time. But interestingly enough, the car owners, Bill and Gail Davis, that are the folks that back that number 22, if they had a guy to root for beside their own car, it would be Mark Martin out of Arkansas. They have followed his career. They were with him in the beginning. So for those folks, this is quite a day. There's Martin in second, and their car with Ward Burton leading as we come to 300 miles in another lap. Mike?
Tony Stewart, number 20, on the inside of Rich Bickle as they fight for 7th place, and there's no give and take here. Tony had to outmuscle him down into turn 1.
Tony Stewart's car is so very good in the corner. And I also say one thing about Ward Burton. I wouldn't get the glasses out just yet for that champagne, because those cars back there, those two Labonte brothers, are closing in on the leaders almost half a second a lap.
From anywhere from 2 to 4/10 second a lap, they have come from about a 7-second deficit down to just a little over 4 seconds.
I think right now, if you look at the two brothers, they did not run very, very hard as they restarted there. As Ned said, you start out with the air pressure in these tires a little bit low, and then they build up and the car really gets to going. What you do is protect that tire and not get one hot and make the air pressure grow and make that car ill. And right now, they are flying around this racetrack. They took a little bit of patience on the restart there.
The question I have is, who will make the first pit stop? First green flag pit stops of the day coming up, and once one of the leaders comes in, everyone else will have to be in shortly thereafter, because new fresh tires are quicker than worn tires. Ralph?
Mike, there's a lot of theories floating around pit lane about what happened to Jeff Gordon and Mike Skinner's tires. Well, those are just theories. Goodyear won't know officially until they get the tires back to their Ohio shops and check them out. Then they'll have a for sure knowledge of what went wrong. But for now, Phil Homer, who's in charge of stock car racing tires for Goodyear, has told me his engineers are going up and down pit road, making sure that all of the teams run the air pressures that Goodyear recommends. That's 44 pounds in the right front, 40 in the right rear, and 24 on both tires on the left.
Well, part of the equation is tires, but part two is the chassis setup, because the teams can load one tire more than another and perhaps abuse it.
Let's just talk 1 second about that. What you do, you drop the air pressure and make that tire grip a little more. Sometimes it'll actually flex over and get against the metal part on the inside of the wheel there, and it'll blow the inside of the tire out.
Can happen. 203 laps complete here at Texas Motor Speedway. Ward Burton up front. Terry Labonte, number 5, is closing in. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. The leaders last pitted about lap 154. 54 laps ago. Some other cars in the lead lap made a pit stop at lap 163, so it won't be too long. Here's Bobby Hamilton, not on the lead lap, who is peeling off and making a stop. He is 4 laps down. Ward Burton continues to lead here in Texas. Let's check with Dick Berggren.
Well, the serial order and speeds, Mike, have a whole lot to do with what they did on that last set of pit stops. On the last round, Ward Burton took 0 tires. Mark Martin, who currently is running in second spot, took 2 tires, and Dale Jarrett also took 2 tires. They're going to be coming in pretty soon for some more of those tires, about 15 laps or so from now.
But Dick, would they take 2 tires or 4? Since on the last stop, those drivers took 2 or none. That will determine a lot how much time they spend on pit road and where they end back up.
Right now, Terry Labonte is the fastest car on the racetrack, and he did take 4 during that last caution flag. He could possibly just take 2 on the green flag. But let's go to the pits and Ralph Shaheen.
right. Terry Labonte did take 4, as did Bobby Labonte. I just checked with Jimmy Maycar. I said, Jimmy, what are you going to do in this next set? 2 or 4 tires. He said he's definitely going to take 4. And Mike, one other note, Bobby Hamilton has fumes in the car. He was coming down pit road to get a relief driver. We expect it to be Randy LaJoie.
All right, Ralph, the first of the lead lap cars to pit is Ernie Irvan in the number 36 Pontiac. The rest of the teams will closely monitor his lap times to see if those 4 tires picked him up and if they need to come in.
There's Ernie Irvan coming in the pits. And the other thing, we were just talking about fumes. Let me explain that. We have a lot of people that may be watching us for the first time ever. That's the exhaust fumes he's talking about. That's the actual burn gas, and it puts out a little vapor and it comes up in the car. It'll give you a headache that you cannot stand. Make you sick too.
So Irvan, you see, going a lap down as he comes back up to speed after that first green flag pit stop.
And as we can see, Terry Labonte has caught Dale Jarrett for 3rd place. He has been gaining 2 to 3/10 of a second a lap every lap, and now he's picking up on the 3rd place car. As they come up on Darrell Waltrip, who has just gone a lap down. Darrell's running in the 27th position, so now 26 cars on the lead lap.
Number 5 is likely the fastest car on the racetrack right now, and his brother Bobby is no slouch either. Terry Labonte runs 3.1 seconds off the lead. Bobby Labonte 4.7 seconds back of leader Ward Burton.
And at one time, Terry Labonte was over 7 seconds behind the leader.
Somewhere else he's handling pretty good right down the front straightaway. Ward Burton coming in the pits.
Lead car on pit road, Ward Burton, as Tommy Baldwin said. They will shortstop Ward and bring him in early. He's in, Ralph.
Mike, 4,000 RPMs in second gear is what they will do down pit road. They are planning a 4-tire and fuel stop. They will take sticker tires on the car. There is no planned chassis adjustment. They will just change tires around to the left side now. Up goes the left side. Crew Chief Tommy Baldwin changing tires on the back end of the car. Tommy Wallace completes the front, and away he goes.
4,000.
And a car in the wall.
Mark Martin is in the wall. Turn 1. And that is a terrible blow to Ward Burton, who loses a lap, but a worse one for the defending champion of this race.
Yes, he might have stretched it a little bit too far on that right front tire. I'm sure that Mark was coming in maybe the next time around.
And caution is out. So Ernie Irvan and Ward Burton and Darrell Waltrip, these drivers would stop under the green flag, losing a lap to the race leader. Now off the lead lap as Mark Martin comes around to either the pits or the garage.
That's a familiar sight there. The right front side of that car dragging the ground. Right front tire absolutely flat.
So 2 of the 3 drivers who have won Winston Cup races this year in trouble. Jeff Gordon, first car out of the race with a turn 4 crash. And now Mark Martin with a lot of damage to the right front of his Jack Roush Ford. Rest of the field comes to the caution car, and 3 of the top 5 drivers in the point standings have crashed today.
What a tough break. And here's another car that's in trouble. I don't know what the situation is, even though he's many laps down, and that's Steve Park in the car number 1. But he went into turn 1 smoking, and but it looks like there's damage to maybe the right side of that car.
Yeah, I can't see what it is at the moment, but he has had transmission problems at the early part of the race, but right now he's trying to get back around here.
All right, leaders will come to pit road. Here's a look at Mark Martin.
Right straight up. You can see the right front's down up into the wall. As he turned in, it looked just like Mike Skinner's car when it went down the corner. Right front was down.
There you see it again. Just veers right up into the wall. It didn't hit as hard as Mike Skinner, or maybe not as hard as Jeff Gordon.
From Dale Jarrett's car.
Oh. Now you can see him coming down the racetrack. Everybody going to the flat there to get by him.
It's a long way to go to that wall when that happens going into the corner.
Yeah, but you can see everybody. Watch Bobby Labonte right here in the green car. Broken shoulder and all. He gets on the flat to get by.
We are under caution at 217 laps. We'll be back with more from Texas Motor Speedway after this. There's the errant tire that was out in the grass from Steve Park's car, rolled back. As we're still under caution, 1 lap and we'll be back to green. Tomorrow night, Honda prelude to a championship at 9 Eastern time. And